Hello, my name is Sensei Alex Kakuyo, and I'm a teacher in the Bright Dawn Center of Oneness Buddhism. I'm also the author of the Buddhist blog, The Same Old Zen. The title of today's talk is What's Up with the Non-Self? So, uh, in Buddhism, we have something called the three marks of existence. And these items are what I would say are the absolute core of Buddhist teachings. This is what everything else, including the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, the Six Perfections, etc., are built off of. And these are things that Buddha, when he was sitting under the Bodhi tree, realized that every living thing is experiencing. So these are true for everyone and everything that's alive. And the three marks of existence are suffering, non-self, and impermanence. So we all suffer, we all change from one moment to the next, we all exist in a state of non-self. And it's that last part, non-self, that I'm going to discuss today because I think that's the one that's most often misunderstood. So to kind of help us break this down a little bit, you can't see this, but on the wall across from me, I have goldfish. They're in a tank and they're swimming around living their lives. And the tank obviously is filled with water because fish need that to breathe. Now, the discursive mind might say that the fish and the water are separate because I can pull the fish out of the tank if I want to. But if I do that, the fish will die. So while it's true that there is a physical point where the fish stop and the water begin, it's not completely correct to say that the fish and the water are separate, because the fish need the water to survive. They live in relationship with one another. Another example would be the plants behind me. The plants are in pots filled with soil, and the plants have an existence of their own, and the soil has an existence of its own. But if I pull the plants out of the soil and leave them there, they'll die, just like a fish out of water. So again, it's not completely correct to say that the plants and the soil are separate because, again, they live in relationship. As a final example, I'll just use my own beating heart, which you can't see obviously right now, but if a doctor wanted to, he could cut open my chest, rip my heart out. Uh, that's possible. But if that happened, obviously I would die. So even though I and my heart aren't one and the same, I need my heart to live. Again, we live in relationship. And that's what the teaching of non-self is. It doesn't say that we don't exist as separate entities. It says that while we exist as separate entities, we also exist in relationship with everything around us. In relationship with the people, with the trees, with the air, with the water. And just like I need my heart to live, and the fish need water to live, we need all living beings to live. And this is important to understand because this is where compassion comes from. I take care of my heart health because I understand I need my heart to live. And if I understand I need other people to live as well, then I'll treat them well. I'll treat them with compassion. I'll see them as part of myself. That's why sometimes in Buddhism, teachers will say, if we're practicing hard enough, we'll look at other people and we'll see our own face. Now, there's another part of this teaching as well that we need to understand. A lot of times when we practice spirituality, we think that eventually we're supposed to become bulletproof, where we can't feel anger or sadness or fear. But this is incorrect because, again, if we understand the teaching of non-self, then we understand we live in relationship with others. And just like bad soil or bad water can hurt a plant or a fish, people can hurt us as well. It doesn't mean they're bad, to be clear, but it does mean that they're unskillful. And when this happens, it's very normal and natural that we feel emotions, that we feel sadness, grief, anger, frustration. But as we feel these things, our understanding of the teaching of non-self reminds us that the correct option is not to hurt the other person in return, because that only makes our pain worse. Rather, we should respond by helping them if we can, to see what they've done and make amends. And if we can't, then just accepting that this isn't a person that we can associate with. To go back to the plants, I have several cacti in my house, and they're wonderful plants, but I understand their nature. And while we live in relationship with each other and I water them and give them sunlight, I don't try to grab them or give them hugs. I don't rub them the same way I might rub the leaves of the plants behind me, because I understand they're cacti, and poking cacti hurts. So there's no animosity there. It's just an understanding of the situation, that we live in relationship with each other, but at the same time, there are proper boundaries that need to be placed on that relationship. And sometimes we need to create boundaries with the people around us for that same reason. Not because we don't like them or we're afraid of them, but because we want that relationship to be healthy and strong. This all hinges on the understanding of non-self and the understanding that we, living beings, live in relationship with all other living beings. So that's talk for today. I hope it was helpful. If you'd like to read articles I've written about Buddhist practice, you can do that at my blog, The Same Old Zen. You can visit that blog by going to sameoldzen.blogspot.com. If you have follow-up questions, you can email me at sameoldzen@gmail.com. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, please don't forget to subscribe or retweet so we can all continue learning together. And if you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. So that's it for today. Amitabha. Until next time.